Hey everybody, what's up? Joey here. Tuesday afternoon. It's the 29th. Haven't checked in a couple days, been a little busy. I hope you don't mind. Thought I'd pop in today right after work. Literally just got off, so I thought I'd come on and say hello. We're getting some fall weather out there. It's a little stormy, it's a little rainy, so if you hear any uh, weird sounds, that's probably what it is. If you hear any other weird sounds, please ignore that. That's none of your business. Um, anyway, hope everybody's doing okay. Just wanted to come in, check in, and see who's on. Sabrina is here. Hello. How's it going? Nice to see you. There's not really any agenda today. If you guys have any topics you want to discuss, please send them out. Yeah, what's up? I haven't been on here in a while. Let's see. What's new? What's new in the world? Nothing's new, right? It's all good. Nothing is wrong. Everything is okay. Everybody's doing fine. Nobody has any problems right now. It's like everything's just really okay, right? Somebody said it's good finally cooling off down here in Texas. Yeah, I mean, you guys are cool. I feel like we're probably New Jersey's in this weird place where it's like still kind of warm. It's like the humidity. It's really the humidity. The humidity here is out of control. I mean, it's raining, but also it was like 80 degrees yesterday. I went for a walk and like I wore a jacket and jeans and I was dying. Usually I'm like I feel the best at around like in the 50s, 50 degrees, maybe like high 40s. That's when I'm most comfortable. But yeah, it's not cool enough here yet. So tell yourself. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, everything is fine. It's all good in the hood. Yeah, I mean it is October. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. October starts on Thursday. So, if you guys didn't know, if you didn't catch my other video where I was asking everybody for like horror movie suggestions, I have started watching a bunch of the ones on the list. And tomorrow I'm going to start recording some of those reviews and discussions. They're going to be more discussions than reviews. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you which ones I've watched so far. It's going to be a surprise. I'm just going to kind of just drop them on the channel once they're recorded and edited, and then hopefully you guys enjoy it, and maybe we'll get some new peeps on the channel. Yeah, it's just I remember like, I mean September's always just been kind of warm. But like I feel like in recent years, it's just September's still summer, and so is like the first 2 weeks of October here now. It doesn't really get to be fall until November proper. I remember last year. Obviously, there's no Comic-Con this year. Not sure if I was going to go anyway. I might. I always say I'm not going to go, and then I just get a ticket and go and have a very uncomfortable time. But yeah, I remember, I think it was either maybe it was 2 or 3 Comic-Cons ago, New York Comic-Con, where it was really hot. And it was, I don't know how they do San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know how any convention operates in the heat, because even on a year where it falls on a cool day, it is unbearable. Like I mean, most people who have gone to conventions know about, the convention stench. And that is just compounded when it is hot outside. Any summer conventions in New York City, I try to avoid like the plague, but obviously that is not as easy to avoid as maybe we once thought. Anyway, I was just thinking this year would have been probably one of those hot, gross convention years, because it's usually the first weekend in October, the New York Comic-Con. I'm not sure if many people that watch this channel are convention people. They go to conventions. I don't know if any of you have been to a Comic-Con, or at least like the big one. I know San Diego's like the biggest one. I've never been to that one. New York has gotten very big over the last few years. It's almost you could barely move, which is why I always think it's a good idea. And then I go to these conventions and immediately regret it. I see the lines. I see the lines in the convention, and I see the crowd, and I instantly am filled with rage. Hello, what is up? How's it going? I like seeing my name in all caps. But yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with comic conventions, mostly because I don't really get what other people get out of them. A lot of people go to see people, but I'm like, I love Mark Hamill, but do I really want to pay $400 for his autograph, or to take a picture with him? I don't know. I did want to go. It was like 2 years ago. The cast of Boy Meets World was at the New York Comic-Con, and they were there like on the only day. I think I was only going Saturday, but they were there only on Friday, and I was so upset because that was a cast I would have wanted to see and meet and say hello to super badly. And also Jenna Coleman when she was on Doctor Who, that would have been awesome. But almost every time anybody I want to see is like on another day. I have so much con frustration. Sabrina says I haven't, but I'd love to sometime. But I'm not sure things are going to be like that anymore. Not until there is like a real practical vaccine. This year kind of forced me not to go to convention, and I think I appreciate it for that at least. It saved me from myself and going to what otherwise is ground zero for other stuff every year. Convention flu is very much a real thing. I've mostly avoided it, mostly because I've always been like, not a germaphobe per se, but I am definitely more cautious than maybe your average person. I don't know if that's actually true, but I definitely come equipped like at least 3 little Bed Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers to use at the conventions, and I try to avoid super crowded areas, which is virtually impossible. Anyway. One thing that has come out of this quarantine pandemic situation is the rise of the the virtual convention, which more or less is kind of what you don't get the energy of the crowd or not, if that's something that's important to you. I'm very cynical of all this. If that's something that's important to you, and obviously it is important to a lot of people, so I don't want to demean it, but I've like something like DC's FanDome that happened. Really like that. I felt the energy. I honestly I felt the energy without the frustration and the sweating and the stench, and had access to pretty much the same things that I would have had access to anyway at a convention. Of course, it's cool seeing other people in costumes. I never really dressed up. Maybe I'm just a Scrooge or grumpy old man. But I never dressed up, although I did enjoy it for a couple years there. But they've just gotten so big. They've gotten so just massive, especially New York. And I'm sure San Diego's that way. Like, I didn't expect this video just to be a rant on how much I have a hard time with conventions. But yeah. Kind of turned out that way, but I guess it's topical. We're talking about things that would have happened this time of year, but can't because of the pandemic. Yeah. Somebody says, "Yeah, I already hate crowds of people." Yeah, I'm not a big fan of crowds. I have to be in a very particular mood to be in crowds of people like that. I have to I don't know, just be on the ball. Like really, I don't know. I got my REM sleep. I got my deep sleep the night before. I'm feeling social and approachable, and feel like I have some energy to be vaguely charismatic and talk to people. But those days are very rare, and it's very unlikely they'll happen on a day before or morning before a convention. So Usually I'm like, do I have to go to one year? I didn't even go. One year I went to one. I bought like a weekend pass and I only went Saturday, and I was like, I can't do that 2 days. I don't know how people do the whole weekend. That's whole weekend in Javits Center is insane. Cosplay is fun, but really probably the best part of a con. I'd agree. Usually people go all out, and I'll commend them for that. But even I'm curious to talk to a cosplayer. I don't really know that many cosplayers personally that do the convention circuit. But I'm curious to see how they feel about it, because I know a lot of them, they get, some people, I think, obviously they dress up to get some sort of to show off their work, to show off their costume, and then you have people that want to take pictures of your work, and that's awesome. I'm curious to see what the takeaway is from different cosplayers. I've had friends that cosplayed before, and they really enjoy it, and they enjoy the attention as well. They like that people are coming up to them and asking to take pictures and stuff like that. So I'm really curious. I wish I knew more cosplayers, because I'm really curious to ask. I know people that LARP and stuff like that, but I don't think that's the same thing. Because you're part of the show. Then you're like an unofficial part of the show when you cosplay to one of these conventions. And I know people, take it or leave it. Some people probably have better experiences than others, I'm sure. But yeah, all that being said, I am, I feel kind of bad that it's not happening this year. I know a lot of people really, it means a lot to them. They go every year. It's kind of like, they have this one thing to look forward to. And usually October is like crazy month for me. There's always projects or stuff happening in October, because it's like it's like one of the only decent months in the year, if you ask my opinion. Fall, like October, November, I try to get as many projects as I can done, because I can stand to be alive and outside and not severely uncomfortable in the weather. But yeah, rant over. I don't know where that came from. Obviously, I'm feeling some kind of way on the Tuesday in the rain. I hope everybody else is doing okay. I feel like probably should have mentioned it, but I've gotten political on this podcast in the past. Who's watching the debates tonight? Is anybody ready? Who's getting their popcorn? Who's getting their surge and their popcorn ready to watch the presidential debates? Are we not allowed to talk about that? Is it too divisive? Sabrina says, yeah, Renaissance Fest is coming up for us, and I'm sad I'm not going this year. Yeah, I went last year too. It was okay. It was okay. Again, the New York one just gets super crowded. It's insane. Sabrina says she is watching the convention. Liquor and weed for me. I'm definitely gonna have a drink while I'm watching that. I think there's no other way to do it. I have some. Actually, I've never really talked about this channel. I'm not sure how many casual drinkers we have, but I actually bought some absinthe. It's supposed to be as pure as you could. One of the better absinthes you could get in the United States. Obviously, it's not like real absinthe, but I have some, and I'm planning on taking a shot or two of that during the debate, because I think that might be the only way to do it. It's going to be a bit of a headache. I'm sure it's going to be a lot. Try not to get the anxiety too high. I know a lot of people are feeling a real mortal fear about the upcoming election, and I completely understand that. I'm in a weird place where I feel very lucid about it, and it's almost like whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I'll do my part. But mostly it's like whatever happens, just going to prepare for what happens next, and then move from there. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if somebody wins, and I'm sure most people know what side I fall on in this coin, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if he wins again, but it's going to be another 4 years of struggle. Not that everything was perfect before, but everything just seems compounded with the decisions somebody makes. Sabrina says should make it interesting. I hope so. Got Clown and Pen Handy too. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much. I was just curious to see if there's, I'm sure it's going to be the event of the season. It's going to be, I'm surprised. The promotions for it have been hysterical because it's like they're giving it like a Monday Night Football billing. It's like these really intense graphics, and it's like this Tuesday night on Fox News Network we have presidential debate of the century. Like, it's really silly and ridiculous, and it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? It feels unacceptable. I mean, it shouldn't be boring, and I think that's why people didn't really give a crap before this. Somehow they made it, and maybe that is partly due to Trump being from the reality show space. It's become genuine entertainment for people. It's like a show that you have to watch, and it was like that last election too. But they're really doubling, like the networks are really doubling down on this one. It's primetime TV. I doubt it's like any other debate ever is going to get the ratings that these do tonight. It's really going to be something else. I think the media, the way the media does, I'm not even going to go down this road, but I think it's a little ridiculous and way exaggerated. And it's like, what is this? What are we actually doing here? It's obvious what you're doing, and I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe somebody likes that it's like super exaggerated and like made to be almost like some kind of sports event. I'm sure somebody out there likes it, and they're like really stoked for tonight's debate, tonight's match. I feel like it'd say that, and it totally works. Anyway, moving from the topic. So that was a terrible segue because I didn't know what I was going to move to. Wow. It's been quite a week. Is Mercury in retrograde? I don't know. Saturn isn't. I don't have it down. Maybe I'm going to blame one of those. So Halloween is coming up. October starts on Thursday next month. I've decided to kind of nail down to 15 movies. So we're going to do like almost like a ABC Family kind of thing here on the channel, where it's like 15 nights of fright or something. And we're gonna put up some movie discussions. Some will be with me, some will be with guests, interested guests. One or two I might have already reviewed on this channel, but I think the first one is going to be Color Out of Space. Not sure when I'm going to actually release it yet. We have to record it still, but it seems like it's going to be that. And last night, I guess I'll give the first two away, and then the other two will be all secret. We'll drop them as they come. Oh, hello. It's Mark Shabunya. What is up? Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mars is in retrograde. Okay. I knew one of them was. Yeah, so we're going to do like a 15 nights of fright. I don't know what the branding for it's going to be yet. I do marketing during the day, so after I'm done with work, I don't want to do marketing anymore. It's going to be called 15 movies I watched over the span of 2 to 3 weeks. How's that for branding? Does that work? Just go across the screen real quick, and then we'll get into the movie discussions. I'm not a big horror, I'm not a hardcore horror person. I very much just dip my toe in it. I definitely kind of lean more towards sci-fi, I guess. Sci-fi, psychological thriller kind of stuff, and any rom-com starring Meg Ryan. That's kind of where I begin and end my movie knowledge and interest. Just kidding. But yeah, we're gonna drop at least 15 of them throughout the month, or maybe I'll save them till like the 15th and then do one a day. Still debating. Again, marketing during the day, brain no work at night. So I hope you understand. um, anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Wow, 20 minutes already. I probably spent at least 15 of those complaining about conventions. So I apologize for anybody watching this after the fact. I genuinely hope everybody's doing okay, though. I hope everybody is all right for the most part. I know some people are going through it. I have moments, mostly okay, though. Just keep your head above water, make it through this. We're all in this together. Zac Efron. What was I going to say? I watched Peanut Butter Falcon, little mini review. I watched Peanut Butter Falcon. It was okay. Love me some Shia LaBeouf. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie yet, but I want Shia LaBeouf in everything. Maybe not everything, but he's great. If you haven't watched the movie yet, it's very sweet, charming little movie. Peanut Butter Falcon. Saw it when I was in Maine. Again, sweet movie. Decent cast. Not perfect, but it was okay. Just a quick little movie review for everybody. Now I'm rambling. I need to probably grab a beer or something and settle in. Probably, get something to eat before I have some absinthe before the debates. Huh. All right, guys. Unless anybody has any topics they want to touch on, I'll leave it there. Sabrina says, love Shia LaBeouf, whatever you want to pronounce it. Yeah. I also, I've been saying it for years. I saw a graphic that somebody posted the other day of Shia LaBeouf as Wolverine. I've been saying he should be Wolverine. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be the hipster dude and say I said that first years ago. Probably not first, but I've been saying it for a while because he always reminded me of the Wolverine from the 90s animated series. He was just like, he seems a lot more to like sort of rough and tough, where Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I don't think was that. He was still so a little calculated and refined, where I feel like Shia LaBeouf would be a lot more like that animated series Wolverine, where he'd just be like, like he'd be in for the fight kind of thing. So I don't know if Shia would do another like franchise movie like that after Transformers, but I would love to see him as Wolverine. I think he'd be perfect. Mark says we need to do a horror game, Joey, just via Discord one day. We should. Let me know. I'm up for it. Sabrina says yes, absolutely. Yeah, I put in my vote for Shia LaBeouf when Marvel decides to reintegrate the X-Men, because I think you should just let the Fox run die. Let it go. It should have ended with Logan. I know New Mutants got some mixed reactions, but I think Logan was probably the last decent entry. I didn't watch a lot of those Origins movies. I think they were okay. But anyway, I'll leave it, you guys, there. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody has a good rest of their week. Probably see you soon. Talk to you soon. But until then, see you later. Catch you later.